Hey there, Shim for Body and Mind. Today we're going to talk about Ginkgo Biloba. I like to sing this name, and this is Extra Strength Ginkgo Biloba, and this is Doctor's Best brand. And Ginkgo Biloba is native to China. So the leaf they use in traditional Chinese medicines. They use it for various purposes, and it's good for functioning of brain. It actually circulates the blood towards the brain, and the functionality of the brain improves. So I usually don't try supplements, and recently I started trying different supplements because until and unless you try different supplements, you won't know what suits you and what doesn't suit you. So one of the supplements I want to try was Ginkgo Biloba, and I will tell you my experience with Ginkgo Biloba, what happened to me. And I'm a software engineer by profession, so I wanted to use this to test how it's going to function, and I have a really interesting story to tell you what happened after using Ginkgo Biloba. Okay, so I started taking in Ginkgo Biloba, and it didn't kick in the first day, but it started kicking in probably after 3 days or probably after four days. So I'll tell you what happened when I was doing coding. So I work in a backend where I have to transform the data from different sources to our system. So that's what I do. I do ETL, which is extract, transform, and load. Transformation is where you write the business rules. So I use Ginkgo Biloba, and let's see how it functions. Now, I had a simple code, and also you can write code in different ways. So I use a tool called as SIS, where you design to load the data into your system. So after taking Ginkgo Biloba, what happened was I started working like crazy. I think I started working at 11 a.m. in the morning, working till 11 p.m. in the night, almost 12 hours straight. And actually, I don't work like that. I never work like that. I work probably for an hour, and that's it. I get exhausted, I take a break, and then maybe I work later. And if it's too busy, then I might work for like 5 or 6 hours. But I never work 12 hours straight. With this thing, Ginkgo Biloba, what happened was, now I have a code which I can simplify and write it, but this was urging me to write a complex code. It was giving me ideas, so I went with it. I was designing the model and also writing the code at the same time, where I was writing the business rules and everything. And this would, because of this, it would initiate some idea, and then I would go with it, and it would become complex, and it keeps on becoming complex, and there is no end result. And this thing kept on happening. So I worked 11 to 11 on Saturday. I went back on Sunday to see what happens. I worked again for 12 hours, and nothing happened. So this thing actually gives you ideas, and it probably promotes your neurons or something. It's doing something with your neurons, so you keep on constantly working, and also it can give you new ideas. But it didn't give me the result. It gave me ideas, and there was a lot of complexity to my design, but I never got the result. So at the end, I had to go with the simple code which I was initially about to write. So I went with the initial code. But this thing was an awesome experience. I was sitting for 12 hours straight and keep on coding. And I don't know, I think this pushes your brain in a certain way, where you keep on doing the code and stuff, and it's crazy with Ginkgo Biloba. Now this thing is not useful if you are not having any task to do, or any real functionality to do, like any work to do, you won't be efficient by taking this supplement. And I stopped taking this because I don't think I don't need it. I am more trying natural methods like meditation. Meditation can improve your mind, so I'm trying those routes, and I might try some other medicine. But take this if you really need it. Don't take it just because you want to improve your functionality of your brain. You won't understand whether it's functioning. The only way you understand is when you have a difficult task to do. And even then, be careful. This can play with you because you're not used to certain type of work. Like, your brain is accustomed to make you work in a certain way or certain pattern. Now, once you take this one, what happens is this will make you work in a very different pattern, and which you're not accustomed with. And for you to adapt to this, it might take certain time. So taking this while you're doing some risky task can be complicated. So I would suggest for you to try this when you have a task which you don't have a deadline and you can play with it. And so don't take this when you have really tight deadlines. Take this when you have time to do, and you have time to play with some tasks. Then take this, experiment with this, and get accustomed with this supplement. But I also would recommend, at the same time, I also would recommend not to take it, because you'll get used to this, and you might need it again and again. I don't know which is a good thing or a bad thing. So at the end of the day, what I want to say with this Ginkgo Biloba is, definitely it triggers your brain and it makes you work hard, and it makes your brain function. That's for sure. Okay? And that's it. Try Ginkgo Biloba. All right, try and see it. See how it works. All right. Thanks. Peace.